You've probably heard the names Python, Java, C++, Swift. Maybe you've even used one, or all. But here's what most people miss. Programming languages aren't just tools. Each one has a purpose, a mindset, and a world it belongs to. Or, which one is right for me? This video's for you. Let's walk through every major programming language, plainly explained, no fluff, no filler. Python. Friendly, flexible, powerful. Python is the universal starting point. You'll see it in automation, AI, back-end servers, and data science. It reads like English, and that's why it's often your first coding language, but it's not just for beginners. Python runs serious systems at Google, Dropbox, Instagram, and NASA. Its real superpower? The ecosystem is very friendly. You've got Django and Flask for web apps, Pandas and NumPy for data, TensorFlow and PyTorch for AI. Python isn't just one tool. Honestly, it's a toolbox. JavaScript. If you've ever clicked a button on a website, JavaScript made it work. It's the language of the browser, but also the server, thanks to Node.js. That means full-stack apps, written in one language, top to bottom. And the front end. Modern web apps live inside frameworks like React, Vue, or Angular, all built on JavaScript. JavaScript powers the entire internet experience. If it moves, updates, or reacts on a screen, it's probably running JavaScript. Just like Python, it's very good for beginners. Java. You think it's related to JavaScript? Not at all. Java is the language of banks, Android, and big business. It's built to run anywhere. That's why ATMs, enterprise systems, and Android phones still rely on it. Java is strict, structured, reliable, a bit verbose, but rock solid. It's also popular in universities and big companies. It's great for building logic and object-oriented thinking. If the goal is performance with predictability, Java's the answer. For beginners, it has moderate difficulty. Learn it if you want to work in enterprise systems, Android apps, or prepare for technical interviews. C. This is the language behind the curtain. C is as close to the hardware as you can go, without writing in ones and zeros. It gives you full control over memory, processors, and timing. C is used for building operating systems, kernels, and embedded systems. Linux uses C programming language. The stuff inside your router also uses C. It's small, but fast. Harder to learn for beginners, better for advanced learners. Why it's hard? You manage memory and think low level. Learn it if you want to understand how computers work and build embedded systems. C++. Now take C and add features. Object-oriented structure, classes, abstraction. It gives you performance, but with the ability to model complex systems. That's why it's the standard for game engines, trading systems, simulators, real-time physics. It's fast but harder to manage. Still, it remains unmatched for real-time performance. Why is it hard to learn? It's powerful and a bit complex. Learn it if you're aiming for game engines, real-time simulations, finance systems, or high-performance apps. C#, built by Microsoft, for Microsoft. It's popular in business software, desktop apps, and game development, especially with Unity. Think Excel plugins, CRM systems, VR experiences. It makes it all possible. It's cleaner than Java, safer than C++, and still powerful. If you're building in Windows or Unity, this is your tool. For beginners, it has moderate difficulty. It's similar to Java, but cleaner and has modern tools. Learn it if you want to develop Windows apps, work in corporate environments, or build games in Unity. PHP. It gets mocked, but it still runs much of the internet. PHP powers WordPress, and WordPress powers a third of the web. Facebook started with PHP. So did Wikipedia. Although it's not trendy, but it's stable, simple, and everywhere. If you need to maintain or build a content site fast, you'll be using PHP. The syntax is fairly simple, but the older documentation and inconsistent design can confuse beginners. Learn it if you want to build or maintain websites, work with WordPress, or create server-side web apps quickly. Ruby. Ruby's about developer happiness. The syntax is clean, logical, almost poetic, and when paired with Ruby on Rails, It becomes a web launching machine. Startups loved it. You could launch a full app in a weekend and scale it. It's less common today, but still respected for its elegance and speed of development. It's easy. Learn it if you want to quickly build simple web apps with Rails and focus on getting things done. Go. Go, also called Golang, is built for speed and simplicity. Go is rising fast in DevOps, built by Google for systems that need speed and simplicity at scale. Go compiles fast and handles thousands of concurrent requests effortlessly. It's used to power modern infrastructure, APIs, microservices, and cloud platforms like Docker and Kubernetes. DevOps teams love it for its reliability. In today's cloud-native world, Go is becoming a must-learn. It's moderately simple but requires understanding of systems thinking. Learn it if you're into DevOps, infrastructure, or want a modern language for APIs and servers. Rust. Now this one's getting serious traction. Rust gives you all the power of C++, with safety built right in. No memory leaks, no undefined behavior, no silent crashes. It's used in cryptography, operating systems, and tools like Firefox and blockchain nodes. The Linux kernel is even adding Rust support. For modern systems that demand speed and security, Rust is rewriting the rules. It's not for beginners. It has strict compiler. Learn it if you want to go into systems, crypto, or security-heavy apps. TypeScript. This is JavaScript's grown-up sibling. It adds types, which means you catch bugs before the browser does. And that's a game changer in big apps. It's used by Google, Microsoft, Airbnb, enterprise teams. It's become the standard for enterprise front-end development, especially in React, Angular, and full-stack teams. If you want structure without leaving JavaScript, TypeScript is your best move. It builds on JavaScript. It's not hard, but beginners need to understand JS first. Learn it if you want to work on large-scale front-end projects, React, Angular apps, or join professional web development teams. Swift. Apple built Swift to replace Objective-C, and it's now the default for iOS, iPadOS, and macOS apps. Swift is modern, readable, and designed to prevent errors. From the App Store to your Apple Watch, it's running Swift code. Want to build for the Apple ecosystem? This is the only language you need. Why it's moderate, clean, and modern, but assumes some programming foundation. Learn it if you want to build iPhone, iPad, or Mac apps. Swift is the default language for the Apple ecosystem. Kotlin. Android used to be all Java. Now, it's mostly Kotlin. Kotlin is concise, null-safe, and fully compatible with Java. Google officially recommends it. If you're building for Android, you'll be writing Kotlin, and you'll probably like it more than Java. For beginners, it's easier than Java, less verbose, but still expects understanding of object-oriented programming. Learn it if you want to build Android apps. Google officially recommends Kotlin over Java now. SQL. SQL isn't for building apps. It's for asking questions. It powers every major database, and it's how apps read, write, and organize their data. If your app needs to know who signed up last week or how many users paid, that's SQL. You won't build logic in it, but you'll use it to drive decisions. Simple syntax, focused on data queries, not full app logic. It's simple. Learn it if you want to work with data in analytics, databases, dashboards, or back-end systems. Bash. This isn't a full programming language. It's a shell scripting language used for automation and administration. Bash runs in terminals. It powers scripts that update servers, schedule jobs, and manage environments. If you work in DevOps or cloud, Bash is everywhere. It's not elegant, but it's essential. It's a bit challenging. It uses odd syntax, not intuitive for new devs. Learn it if you're into DevOps, cloud, or server automation, not app building. HTML and CSS. Let's be clear, these aren't programming languages. HTML is a markup language. It tells the browser what content to display. CSS is a style sheet language. It tells it how to look. Together, they create the structure and design of every web page. Just content and presentation. You don't build apps with them, but every web app starts with them. Why it's easy? Well, you're not writing logic, just telling the browser what to show. HTML, and how it should look, CSS. Learn them if you want to build or design web pages, landing pages, or become a web developer. It's used by every website ever built. Let's wrap this up. Python is easy and everywhere. JavaScript runs the web. Java runs big systems. C gives you control. C++ gives you speed. C# gives you game engines and corporate apps. Go and Rust are building tomorrow's cloud infrastructure, and they're here to stay. Ruby and PHP are holding up websites, still getting work done. TypeScript, Swift, Kotlin, all modern takes on older models. Safe, smart, scalable. SQL powers the data. Bash controls the servers. HTML and CSS, they paint the web. You don't need to learn them all. Just choose the right one for what you want to build. Subscribe now or risk learning a language no one's hiring for. See you in the next one.